Hey, y'all, happy Friday. It's Friday. You know what? I'm glad it's Friday. We got a long holiday weekend. Nice to see y'all in the building. Y'all know what to do. Hit the like button as you come in. Purchase your ticket, okay? Be a passenger on the train and don't cheat the diva. Hit the like button. Listen, we got a good lineup tonight. I'm sorry I'm late, but you know what? I guess we'll call this the Friday late train. Okay, it's a late train, but we still pulling out the building. So our topics tonight well, actually the title of our topic is Invincible Ego Trip. The people tripping off their own ego. Yeah, they are. You know, when you let your ego get so big, when you think nobody can't tell you nothing, you smarter than everybody in the building, you the richest one, you the most good looking one, you got the best clothes, you got the best car, tripping. You think you ain't invincible. And everybody bowing down, kissing the ring. They said all giants must come back down. Don't be up high, looking down low, stepping on the people, treating the people like trash. It's going to come back to you one day. So yeah, the title is Invincible Ego Trip. You got this Angel Reese. And I like her, but she got to calm down. She's a basketball player. She was a big deal along with Kate and Clark. As they was both playing basketball, was a little controversy between them. Now they're both playing for the WNBA. And Caitlin Clark, you know, she got to find her groove. So her team hasn't won a game yet. But Angel Reese's team, I think they just won the other day. And she went to the Twitter and was gloating and poking fun at Caitlin indirectly. Girl, calm down. Stop ego tripping. You know what we have to teach everybody? You know, I used to tell my son when he played basketball, I was like, somebody got to lose. I'm not saying I want you and your team to lose, but somebody got to lose. If it happens to be your team this time around, it's not the end of the world. Somebody's got to lose. It's not that deep. It's not the end of the world. It is okay. And if you win, you don't gotta be out on the court dancing and tapping and yaha. Win gracefully. Calm down. Because today you're winning and tomorrow you might lose. And it's not going to feel good if the people are gloating in your face. It's messy. Angel Reese needs a mentor. Because her mom got, I'm going to say seems like she has the same energy as Angel. And it's not good. And you got brands looking at you. Just because you winning, they will put their money behind somebody else. Don't get too cocky. Stop tripping. Stop ego tripping. We're going to talk about Angel Reese. Then we got Diddy, this Derek Parker. He's an ex-hip-hop investigator, cop from New York. He knows a lot about Diddy. And he spoke and said, you know what? This Diddy case is looking very similar to Epstein. Now, I will do this. I'm trying to get an actual copy of the latest lawsuit case. And as soon as I get that copy, we're going to talk about it. But I'm going to have to put all kind of trigger warnings and warnings before I have that conversation with you about that April case. Because y'all know y'all get very, very sensitive. And I'm going to warn the people ahead of time because I got some things to say. And somebody was like, oh, you love Diddy. Are you dumb, stupid, or both? This man has done some horrendous things. Now, what I do love, though, is the law. I love the law because, see, what happens is when we want to bend the rules and the laws in one direction because we want this person to pay, or when the pendulum swings around and maybe you or your family member is in that situation, you will want them to go by the law. But we're going to talk about it. Invincible Ego Trip. Just like what's his name? Bill Cosby. He was a terror for decades. Allegedly, so was Diddy. And they say every dog has its day. Well, Diddy day is coming fast and furious. It's like pa-poom, 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 pa-poom. I mean, I don't even know if he could close his eyes at night. He probably got high blood pressure, high cholesterol, everything. Go to sleep, wake up, and it's another one, another lawsuit. His lawyers must ring that phone off the hook. He probably paying millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in legal fees. It's a mess. Then I put this story in here because this is how these situations start. Felicia, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You said dumb, stupid, or both takes me out every time. Thank you so much, girl, and always supporting me. I appreciate you. Thank you. So this is how this stuff starts. A 63-year-old bishop, the man of God, the man standing in the pulpit, he marries an 18-year-old. He gets up in the pulpit, he's lashing out, bashing out at his parishioners who pay the tithes to that church. It couldn't be me. Talking about, I dare y'all to say anything about me and my 18-year-old wife. She's 18. He said she ain't need no paperwork to marry him. He said we sleep good at night. So this girl's 18. And every time we talk the Diddy cases, everybody wants to tell us they were young, they were impressionable. What do you want to say about this right here? And he's right. He's 18. Her mother can't stop her. But I'm trying to figure out why everybody didn't leave that church. You got a 63-year-old man married an 18-year-old. And he got the nerve to stand up in the pulpit telling the parishioners off. And they listening. I don't know where they do that at, but he got this invincible ego. He's ego tripping. And the thing is, the people are sitting there going for it. And when that young girl wakes up, I don't know where she bumped her head at, what happened in her family life or all of that. But when she wake up out of the nightmare, you know what she going to be like, what's this, Ben Affleck? When she wake up out of her fever dream, she going to try to go down to the courthouse and plead insanity to get out of that marriage. An 18-year-old wife? But this is what's going on in the world today. You got pastors telling off the parishioners, and you got parishioners telling you he's the man of God. It's okay. He had every right to say that. The devil is a liar. I'm going to use my brain every single time. And if I'm wrong, I'll find out when I get to heaven and God speak to me and he has the list. Girl, right here, you was messy. You was wrong. But while I'm breathing and I'm here, I'm going to say what I got to say. And if whoever don't like it, whatever. But I'm not going to be sitting in a church where the bishop, which is a very high level in the church, not the pastor, not the senior pastor, where the bishop is going to tell me that it's okay that he married some 18-year-old. That could be his granddaughter. It's disgusting. It's Friday night, y'all. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? We're going to get into it. Y'all know what I need in the chat so I can load this train up, right? Come on, Tay. Oh, Rebel said it could be his great-granddaughter. He's disgusting. He's nasty. You said the pastor was married 3 times before his current wife. She makes the 4th wife. Good gosh almighty. Good gosh almighty. Thank you, y'all. I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Friday night trending topics, and I'm glad that you're hanging out with me tonight. The title is Invincible Ego Trip. Okay, Angel Reese. Somebody go check her. Diddy. Well, you already know about Diddy. Can it get any worse? I mean, you know what's going to get worse? When they release those FO tapes. When they release the names of all the people that participated. When they release the names of all the people that they have in videos in compromising positions, doing the most. When the names get released, be ready to crawl up underneath a table, pass out, fall out. We're going to need oxygen tanks, EMS, and everything else, because the people are not going to believe all the names that are going to come out at those parties if they dare to do so. And then we're talking about this 63-year-old bishop. Let me go ahead and load this trainer so we can get this party started. Hey, Leo.
Hey, Diva, we ego tripping tonight.
Ego tripping, honey. Come on now, in my opinion.
Hey, Diva, choo-choo.
Choo-choo. Hey, Felicia. Hey, E. Hey, Katrina. We got a new one in the building. Hey, Tony. Hey, Julius. And hey,
what's up, everybody?
Hey. Now, listen, guys. We're going to go ahead and get into this story. I'm going to start with this Angel Reese. She's young. I'm feeling for her. I thought at one point Shaq was mentoring her. I need some other mentors to come in the building and wrap their arms around this girl, because I don't want her to lose everything before she gains it. I want her to reel it in because she's messy. And what people got to understand is we all can win. Whatever happened to that concept? We all can win. You could be a star on your team. I could be a star on my team. We can help uplift the WNBA together. We're more powerful together than we are apart. Come on, Emmanuel, be humble. Let me share this screen so we can get into this story. Let me just pause this thing. All right. So Angel Reese takes a swipe at WNBA rival Caitlin Clark in a since-deleted post. Angel Reese recently took a swipe at fellow WNBA star Caitlin Clark in a since-deleted post on X after the Chicago Sky Star and her dream team beat the New York Liberty Thursday. Reese took to social media to celebrate the win with a little shade. And then didn't even spell the whole thing right, okay? And that's on getting a win in a packed, she meant the right arena, not just cause of one player on our charter flight. Hashtag Skytown. So, and that's okay. I read that, and she tweeted it and deleted it Thursday night. Reese's tweet was seemingly aimed at Clark, whose team, the Indiana Fever, has not been able to score a win this season so far. The DC Power Football Club part owner also referenced the league's booking charter flights for their team's 2024 to 2025 season, which has been credited to Clark's hype. Now, when the world is hyping you up, that's not your fault either. The world chooses who they want to put on a pedestal, who they want to take off of one, but that has nothing to do with the individual, and it's just not fair. Page Six reached out to Clark for a comment, but she did not immediately hear back. Reese tweet also comes after several current and former NBA stars, including LeBron James and Charles Barkley, have worshipped Clark for her impact on women's basketball despite her team's losing record. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it effed up. The Los Angeles Lakers star 39 said on his Mind the Game podcast Thursday. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA, he added. I'm rooting for Caitlin because I've been in that seat before. I walked the road before. I hope she kills. The friendly rivalry between Reese and Clark, both 22, first began during their collegiate basketball careers when they played for Louisiana State University and the University of Iowa, respectively. During the 2023 Women's NCAA title game, Reese celebrated the Tigers' fourth quarter lead by waving her hand in front of her face, a gesture popularized by wrestler John Cena. As you can't see me. She also tapped her ring finger while looking directly at Clark. Though Reese was criticized as being classless for the gesture, which Clark also did during her team's Elite Eight victory over Louisville, she defended herself against the naysayers. All year, I was critiqued for who I was. I didn't fit the narrative. I didn't fit the box that y'all want me to be in. I'm too hood. I'm too together, she told the reporters that April. Y'all told me that all year. But when other people do it and y'all don't say anything. However, the women seemed to put their college drama aside for a moment as they were seen taking pictures together at the 2024 WNBA draft last month. And I guess that lasted for 2.2 seconds. That was them two together. Okay. Oh, what are we going to do? Can't we all just get along? Leo, your thoughts?
Maybe I missed it because I'm in here moving around. I didn't read in the tweet that she said anything. I thought she just said, we won in a packed arena, moving on my flight at chart. My chartered flight. I don't. She didn't say anything.
No. That she said a lot, right? So what she's saying is because Caitlin's team has not won yet, right? And so she's saying that everybody is praising Caitlin as the one to be the trailblazer to help the WNBA get recognized. And so before Caitlin Clark came to the WNBA, her team was on the flight with the regular folks. So now they have charter flights, and that was such a big deal. And then everyone is praising Caitlin Clark as the face of the WNBA now, that's going to raise the level for all the ladies in the NBA. No, it was a definite stab at her, and that's why she deleted it really quickly too.
I mean, but she still didn't say anything about the girl. One thing I know, because I'm a football person and I follow sport, and the thing that they do in sports is talk trash. I don't get why. I do get that women are seen differently for their trash talking. Muhammad Ali would talk trash to the people all the way down to the ground, and he was known as the greatest. So from the beginning, from Cassius Clay until he changed his name to Muhammad Ali. So she did not. The article points out that is a stab at Caitlin Clark, and perhaps her people said to her, "This sounds like a stab at Caitlin Clark. You need to take this down because we really don't want that." And that can be true. She is being managed if she took it down. But the trash talking is what they do in the sports. And I don't necessarily think that she should keep her mouth closed Whereas everybody, because believe me, when Caitlin Clark start winning her games, she gonna be tweeting out here talking her ish too. She's going to do the exact same thing. And I don't necessarily believe that Angel Reese is being kicking dirt in the face of those who is making the game popular, because they both making the game popular. And like you said, no one can choose who's going to be the media darling or the media star. It is still beneficial for the WNBA. And ish talking is also beneficial, because rivalries is what makes sports. It's what makes sports. It was the Knicks and the Celtics. It was always some type of sports beef that went on that makes the game popular. I can't say that she don't have a big head, because she probably does. I can honestly say that she probably do need to make sure she keep her ego in check. I can get with that. But people really do get down in the gutter with these sports beefs. And unlike rappers, they don't necessarily take it to the streets and pow it out. It stays on the court. So I'm listening to what everybody else has to say, because I'm the first one starting out, and maybe others will enlighten me. That's all I got. I'm getting off the line.
I appreciate you, Leo. I just think that you got to read the room. And the room was already, the platform was already laid out when those two was in college together. And she knew when she did this, even though Caitlin did the same thing, but about the ring, she saw how it went in her direction. I just think, this is just my opinion, I just think this social media thing is taking a lot of people down. Play the game, and let your game speak for itself. Let your game speak so much that they ain't gonna have no choice but to swing the pendulum and start saying your name. Because it wasn't only just other people in the media. They said LeBron James and all of the others were also saying that Caitlin Clark is the reason why the W. So it's her own too, right? You got to read the room. That's just my opinion. I'm coming to you in my opinion. And you say, I don't like the way they're making Angel Reese a villain because she's confident. But again, I have to say, read the room and then address things accordingly based upon how you're reading it. Listen, I told you before, the streets win. Now, I ain't saying nobody ain't never beat the streets, but 9 times out of 10, the streets win unless you play that thing smartly. You got to play it in a smart way. But the streets are relentless. In my opinion, you're up.
So I do like Angel Reese. I'm not gonna lie. I like her. I think she has an amazing talent. And so I saw all this go down. But I also saw the message that her mom sent. And her mama said she wasn't talking to Caitlin. She was talking to another content creator. She also threw a jab at the media and saying, y'all cheering on the corn and stuff. And then she went on to say that her daughter is getting racist and vile tweets now. And that's the reason why she deleted it. But it was never going to Caitlin. I feel like a lot of people take things that they see on social media. And if it don't have a name, somebody puts a name to it and pushes it out there like it's geared towards somebody else. And I just think this is making the social media more messy and more complicated than it has to be. But that's just my thoughts.
I appreciate you. Thank you. In my opinion, Felicia, you're up.
Good evening, everyone. I'll take a pass on this one.
Tay, you're up.
You can skip me on this one, Diva.
All right, Tony, you up?
I'm here.
Your thoughts?
Yes.
Your thoughts?
Well, I agree with you, Diva. You have to just let your game speak for itself? Um, Caitlin Clark, and I'm reading it right now on another screen. She became the first player in WNBA history to score at least 20 points in each of her first 3 road games. Okay, records are made to be broken.
Mm-hmm.
Angel needs to focus on her game so she can achieve, if not surpass. And then she would have something to say. I, for one, don't like it when athletes start picking on other people because of what appears to be envy or jealousy
Mm-hmm.
or both.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really all I have to say. Just focus on yourself. I would say to Angel, she's young and she's
Mm-hmm.
starting out in life and she's probably a little frustrated, but she has the talent
Yes.
to match, if not surpass. So I would encourage her to just work hard. Tomorrow is not promised to you, but the next day might be promised to you.
Right. Right. I appreciate your thoughts on that, Tony. And I do agree. The girl, even though her team is losing, she is pulling out record number of points per each game, right? And this is no comparison through this. And everybody has their opinion. We could all say, yeah, she wasn't picking on Caitlyn, but you already know what the word is on the street and how the people feel. The people feel y'all have this rivalry going on. And so that's why people should have publicists, right? And once the thing with social media is once you put it out there, that's it, it's done. It's going to live on forever. Play the game. Come on, Emmanuel, it's the optics. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Diva. But rivalry talk have been in sports since the wrestling days, since football days. I mean, that's what they do. And I understand what you're saying too, but they do that. That's a part of the game. They all talk against each other whatsoever, saying what they're gonna do, when they get on the court and all that type of stuff. They do that. And I understand that she's a woman or whatsoever, and when men do it, nobody be complaining or anything like that. And yeah, she's a good player. And well, she's an excellent player. I take that back. She's an excellent player. She's doing her thing. And I think because earlier this season she was getting death threats, racial things thrown at her. I mean, she's come through a lot. And like I said, I understand what you're saying too. But that's talking smack is a part. Like when you play sports in school, we talk smack, or the cheerleader team, they was rival against this team. That's what they do. That's the whole thing of sports. That's what people, I mean, that's just the thing that they do in sports. And yeah, she can focus on her game and whatsoever, and I think she's doing that. Um, as you say, people gonna say put Caitlyn name on or whatsoever. We understand that too. But if it don't apply, let it fly. If it don't apply to you, Caitlyn, it's not about you. Let it fly. Let it go on by its way. And yeah, she needs they need publicists and all that type of stuff to say what they need to say. But I think that she's saying what she's saying because of the threats that she got before. And I understand that. But talking smack is part of the game. I know that she should play a game, stay on course or whatsoever. But that been part of the game ever since we was in sports. So I I see both sides, but I don't really think she did anything wrong. I really don't. But everybody, like you said, everybody got their opinion, and everybody's opinion is not going to be same. But that's all I got, Diva.
Yeah, Shirley Brown, I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Men trash talk in basketball all the time. Why the double standards? Leave the girl alone. See, you know what, Shirley, though? Here's the problem, right? And I hear you. You're saying, why the double standards? Why this? We exist in a man's world. We exist in a man's world. Listen, even if you're a female, you do corporate America in a board meeting, a man could lose his stuff in a boardroom meeting. And oh, that's just so and so. Let a lady do it. She's an emotional wreck. We're not sure if she's ready for this position. Can somebody talk to her? Who's her manager? I'm just saying, at what point do you level up? And listen, speaking of level up, you got ASAP Rocky, I think it was. Is that Rihanna's baby daddy?
Yep.
You got ASAP Rocky, you got Tiger, and you got a Shears man at the Cannes Film Festival, and ASAP Rocky loses it like a toddler because his name is said in the same sentence as somebody else, and you still dealing with the whole Astro World fallout. You have got to be dumb, stupid, or both. And now you have 2 kids. And everybody want to say, well, they this, that. I don't give a darn what nobody said. If I already know that this can result in that, how many times do I need to bump my head up against the wall with not A$AP Rocky, Travis Scott? With Travis Scott, y'all know who I'm trying to talk about. I want to say, was it Travis Scott then that was at the Cannes Festival? I want to say it was Travis Scott then.
I don't know which one was at the Cannes.
Thank you, guys. It was Travis Scott. But either way, y'all get my point. Travis Scott, you there. You at the Cannes Festival, either one of them. You fighting. Yeah, well, I could be loud and wrong, but you know what I'm talking about. So you got to go. Bye. So I mean, it's just you got to read the room. Thank you for the super chat, Shirley. E, you're up.
I hope it comes out properly. I'm still getting over my cold, but I really, really agree with some of the things that Katrina just said. That type of talk of being showboaty, of being dominant and braggadocious, that's a part of the game. That's a part of the swag. And nobody says anything when the men do it. And I do feel like every now and again, you do have a right to kind of beat on your chest a little bit. I think it's good for the team. I also think that there's an underline to this, and I believe I said this yesterday, that, and I'm going there, Black American women are more likely to be exposed to stressful events than any other groups. I know I said it yesterday, and it's scientifically proven. There's data to support this conclusion, and history supports this conclusion. If you're a Black woman in America, it's called surviving real life. And when I say the word stress, I'm talking about high levels of racial and gender discrimination. And what did I say yesterday? Discrimination for Black women has economic consequences. And when everybody jumps on a bandwagon, and particularly Black men, and not just any Black men who have been chosen, glorified, and awarded a platform of influence to inspire a Black community, when those Black men come out and speak for the other side, and it can be seen, and I want to use this word, inadvertently speaking against our young Black talent, but in favor of the other side's talent, that inadvertently casts a shadow of doubt of the small window. It inadvertently casts a doubt on the small window of visual that our girls need to get. And it goes back to those stressors of keeping Black girls into lower status positions and blocking access to Black girls, to Black American mentors and social networks that provide information and support, and making them feel inferior and hindering promotion and advancement is irresponsible. We have been saying this for a while. When Taraji spoke up, the narrative was "suck it up, Buttercup." Folks said Taraji was a day late and a dollar short. And when Monique expresses her contentment, folks say that they are tired of hearing about it. Release us. So now we have Gen Z coming up. And they say, I'm not waiting 40 years to get this off of my chest. I'm going to say it right now. And I do think it's culturally relevant. And they are playing in her face. Angel Reese is a part of a winning team. And I remember when her team won the championship. And how was her team acknowledged in the media? The White House invited the losing team to the White House to share in Angel Reese's team glory. They're playing in her face. Had the quote unquote majority team race won, the minority team would not have gotten an honorary invitation to the White House. I call that a slap in the face, and that's likened to the participation award that we spoke about on Monday. Everybody, if you don't win, you don't get to go to the White House. Just plain and simple. Now, people keep saying that Caitlyn is going to put all these eyes on the NBA. Maybe for some people, but I know that Angel Reese has done the work as far as social media to get people excited and interested to come to the seats, even the celebrities, because I even saw Lotto at the game and she wasn't there for Caitlyn. And you just said yourself, Caitlyn is not a part of a winning team, but she's doing things in the background. It's a different game that she's playing, and she got a $28 million shoe deal. Where's Angel Reese's shoe deal? And when we say that she needs to focus on herself, I think that she is focusing on herself. She's calling out the disparaging treatment as she sees it. I don't have a problem with it. I say, keep speaking up, Black girl. I love to see it.
This is just a question, E. So this speaking up, it changes things? Is getting her somewhere?
Well, yeah, because why would it's called casting awareness. And I at the tip of my tongue, I was going to use a reference, but I don't know if we're going to talk about it later, so I want to hold that one in. Because like I gave you the analogies with Taraji and Monique. We're not going to wait. Gen Z is not waiting 40 years to say, you know what, you treated me bad, you didn't pay me. No, you're going to pay me right now. And LeBron should be ashamed of himself for what he's doing. We have talent in our community who's not getting the visual or not being represented properly. You said that Shaq was supposed to be mentoring Angel. Where's Angel's shoe deal?
She has a shoe deal with Reebok. Somebody put
not 28 million.
Right. Okay, so all right, I gotta move on because all right, I'm gonna move forward.
Well, Diva, $28 million changes a family's direction. And
it sure does. But let me do this with you, E. You got your mother. You put out a tweet, and then your mama come back with a tweet afterwards talking about the children of the corn and whatever else she's saying. You want to work with that? You want to work with that?
A mama defending her baby.
You want that to be the face of your Nike or whoever else?
I got you.
That's what you want to work with? And you know, everybody's saying, well, yeah, we talk smack, saying dominoes, spades. Dominoes and spades ain't worth no $28 million deal.
Well, you are
but hold on one second. Too much is given, much is required. So what I'm saying is that if you don't know, after going to college, after being in this world and seeing what goes down and what doesn't go down, if you don't know how to be strategic in your whole image, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. Let me be clear. Is dead wrong that people are giving her threats? They're saying this, so forth and so on. If you think the way to make change is to come out and react that way, I'm going to say this straight up. Good luck with that one. Good luck. Child, a black woman knocking the black woman. I don't know what that means. I mean, Emmanuel, you're up.
Okay, my thoughts are this. Caitlin Clark has earned her spot to where she is. She really has. You know, she is like the all-time leading scorer of the NCAA, including men and women. You know, there is a thing, between trash talk, whatever people were saying, but there's also a difference between being a hater. And I've noticed since day one that Angel Reese, who's very talented, by the way, and she has earned her spot as well, but she has a bit of an attitude problem. We've talked about her kind of, sticking it up to Jill Biden, the first lady. We talked about her having beef with one of her own teammates, and the mom got involved. We talked about her not being able to maintain a 2.0 GPA, which is pretty bad. So, beef is fine. Yeah, they all talk in sports, whatever. But I would think that for the sake of the WNBA, the Women's National Basketball Association, that they would work a little more towards upholding and helping to build a stronger association, because as we know, their salaries are bad because the viewership and the advertisements are bad, but they have an opportunity now. People have now turned their attention and they're saying, okay, you know what? Let's fix some of this stuff. Let's uplift the WNBA. So to do these cryptic messages, this shade, listen, in today's day and age, it doesn't matter if she named Caitlyn or not, with social media, you got to have some common sense and pay attention to the optics and the appearance. I think it's counterproductive what she's doing. I would tell Angel Reese that these opportunities are so far in between. Your
Come
chances of
on now.
becoming a
Woo.
D1, going pro, getting brand deals, it's so rare. So when you have this great blessing, I would suggest that you have a little more humility and just be humble and grateful. If you want to talk and the smack and all that, leave it in the court. Because at the end of the day, God giveth and God take it away. But since everyone wants to say, well, the men do it too. Okay, so I guess there won't be no change then. I agree with speaking out and everything everyone else said. That sounds wonderful, but I don't know how this shade that she's throwing is her speaking out for change. I'm just saying, check yourself and check your mother, because y'all could be y'all's own downfall. And I'm not making this up. It has happened to people in the past.
Bunny, there was an article out there that's saying she had a 2.0 grade average, because there was a big fight about that, when the two girls on their own team was going back and forth at each other, and the mamas got into it, and saying the daughter can't write, this one can't write, so forth and so on, this, that, and the other. I will say this, Emmanuel, we want to hang out on the train together tonight, because
Yeah.
I do agree with you. I do agree with you. These type of situations, they're not like they don't come around often. You're in a position where you get to level up, and you're going to, in my opinion, dumb yourself down by tweeting something like that. If anything, I would have tweeted, "We won." That's it. Like, we won. That's it. I'm so glad we won. Thanks. Congrats to me and my team. Right?
But Diva,
Yes.
I'm gonna
when
drop down to let
The
the Don come up because he's very anxious. So
Yes.
I
I'll,
was
I'll
getting ready
be
to do
back.
the same thing. I was
I'll
getting ready
be
to do the
back to
same thing.
Mr.
Drop down
Cole.
for the dawn.
Okay.
All
All right. The Don, come up, please. I hope you're still out there. Leave this space open for the Don. I appreciate you.
I hear you all when you're talking about education, and I never heard that the girl can't write, but what I will say, and I've said it here before, the data does show on average, the average American reads on the seventh grade level. There are a lot. It's more than just Angel Reese going to college and not meeting the requirements. They're moving the requirements so that more people can pass. They're lowering the expectation. So I don't want to put the failure of the education system on top of this black girl and what she can and can't do. What she can do is play basketball. What she can do is put seats in the stands. And I think that needs to be acknowledged.
But the thing is that I need everybody to understand is that you can't force acknowledgement. If you want to keep trying to fight the streets, all I'm gonna say to you is good luck with that. Good luck with that. You can't fight the streets. Give me a minute, Leo, because I got Julius and Dadon that need to talk on this situation. And everybody, let me say this. It's not that I don't stand with Angel Reese. So here's the thing. We are gonna hear Dadon, y'all. Give me a minute, but I gotta go in order, right? Here's the thing that people need to understand. People think the only way you can stand with somebody is if you stand, this is just my opinion, with their foolery. If you are my friend, if I think that you shouldn't go down that road, I'm gonna tell you, listen, I still love you, but in that case, I'd be like, shut your mouth, let it go, and this is how you're gonna handle it. Let's handle it behind the scenes. Let's do it this way. But don't put this out in the public and potentially risk some other deals that might come your way because you got a moment of being in your feelings. Julius, you're up.
I do have to say, the WNBA is showing a great bias. And I do believe we as the panel, we have to acknowledge that. Yes, I do believe that she shouldn't be just going off on impulse. But now Rebecca Lobo and all of them, now they're a certain skin color. I'm pretty sure they did a hell of a lot worse. Excuse my language, a whole lot worse. But they was given a pass just for a certain thing. The social media wasn't around. All I'm saying is, it's becoming clear to me the biases that's coming from the WNBA. And I just want to share this point. When my sister was in high school, she played basketball. And one night it was a boys' game. And I have a cousin who I'm very close to. She was on the cheerleading squad. And the young man said to her and the other cheerleaders, "Sit down, you black beep." Now that's not simple trash talk. And so seeing the biases here, if we talk about accountability, the internal system needs to take accountability as well.
Thank you, Julius. Dadon, you're up.
Okay, so I'm of two thoughts here. Angel Reese does need a publicist. She needs someone to help her, guide her along, because she's not in the place that she was. Angel Reese came to, and it will help her in the future. It will help her with those deals, even though she has them. She just became an owner of a football team. I'm not sure if anybody said that in DC. She just became a co-owner of a football team that went under the radar. So she is doing things. My gripe with this is that Angel Reese talks real brass trash, just like everyone said, most women's basketball players. My daughter is a basketball player, and I had to take the score for one of their games last year. I never heard so much cussing in my life. The bees flying across, I just never heard that. I'm always in the stands. And I asked her, I said, well, y'all really do this? And she said, yeah. She said, the boys do it. My daughter, because I was taking score that night, but I'm pretty sure she gets involved with. My whole thing is Caitlin Clark is the biggest trash talker previous in the NCAA, now in the WNBA. When Caitlin did the whole hand in front of her face to the girls, it went under the radar. But when Angel did it back to her, it became the angry black woman. Why is she taunting? Why is she doing this to Caitlin Clark? Caitlin did nothing to her. But, you know, they didn't.
You breaking up, the Don.
Now, Caitlin, hold 1 sec.
Okay.
But Angel Reese has come into the WNBA.
It's now it sounds worse.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm coming.
Okay. All right. All right. While we're waiting for the dawn, I want to be clear. I truly understand both sides. But I want to say this. You gotta beat the street
because of the entire rookie class of this season. This is the most so-called the most talented rookie class that has ever entered the WNBA across all teams. And she didn't do it alone, but she's becoming the face of the WNBA on a losing team. So I just don't. Caitlin went up. Angel went up against New York, killed them. They were in the finals last season. She killed them. She doesn't even have Camila Cardoso with her. Angel Reese is a fantastic player, but she's not getting the recognition for it. Yes, speaking out is good. There's a way to do it. Like I said, she needs a publicist. However, I just don't agree with just because Caitlin Clark doesn't speak out, she deserves this $28 million contract. She deserves that because Caitlin Clark is not the all-time scoring in the NCAA. That belongs to a black woman who was never given that credit. So she is not the all-time leading scorer in the NCAA for both men and women, if y'all didn't know that. So, you know, we give her too much praise. We're praising her too much. Yes, she did. She went to 2 finals and didn't even win a championship. Angel Reese has a championship. So it's you know, I'm just kind of, Angel does need a publicist. I want her to become more professional. She's getting these opportunities. She's getting great looks. But I understand her frustration. I get it. I just wish it would have been worded differently. You know, just try to bring it down. Think about what you type before you put it out.
Come on, Dadon, and that's what I was saying. Come on, we gotta be truthful.
Think about it.
You gotta be truthful here. It doesn't make sense. You already know the energy surrounding you. Don't let them see you sweat. Shirley Brown, I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. I want people to show the same energy when men show temper, tantrum, and trash talk the losing teams. Not fear to put unnecessary expectations on women. Shirley, see, the thing is, I want to say to y'all, I understand that. As a woman, I know. I'm telling you, I have been in meetings where I say something, I'm angry, I'm upset. What's wrong with me? Am I okay? Somebody else say something, it's innovative, it's a good idea, they're passionate. I am telling you facts. Wording is important. Come on, Special K. Wording is important. She needs a publicist. She should not be getting down and dirty like she's the regular everyday person tweeting on her phone. You're not, baby girl. Too much is given, much is required. You at a higher level in the status right now. Don't just get your phone out to get the tweeting. No. I'm not in my feelings. Listen, let me tell you something. When I come here, I be speaking stuff that I would say to somebody on their everyday job. If you want to get in your feelings, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you, and it's going to cost you big. You have got to learn how to play this game. We already know that as women, we can't do what men do. If you don't know that, you a fool. Let me tell you something. Diddy is learning the hard way. You can't do what they do. And now he's paying big time. Okay. Oh, you said that's what they said? Listen, let me tell you something. Diva, yeah, don't catch feelings. She conducts a train. Choo choo. Yes. Listen. Okay. So Diddy is learning the hard way. You can't do what they do. He thought he could because he had the money. He got away with it for so long, and now it's coming to slap him back in the face. If you don't realize in this day and age that they can move one way and you have to move another, then you a straight fool. You done lost before you even won. Get a publicist. Let the publicist talk to you. No matter what, I'd be like, you know what she's doing? If they put the mic in front of my face and they ask me about Caitlyn, I'd be like, you know what? She's scoring big over there. She's doing her thing. She's doing whatever. It would be nothing negative that will come out my mouth towards her or about her. I think the best thing that ever happened is when they took that picture together at the whatever that was, when they had that picture together. Listen, guys, I'm going to move on. All I'm going to say is that she's young. I feel her mother ain't helping because her mother ain't neutralizing this thing and balancing this thing out. You want to know who was a good stage mother? Raven-Symoné. Raven-Symoné said her mother told her, I don't care who you sleep with, before you sleep with them, make them sign an NDA. Raven-Symoné says she to this day has not spent the check from the Cosby Show. This came out of Raven-Symoné's mouth. She has not spent a check from the Cosby Show. And before she slept with anybody, she said her mother, even her current wife, her mother said, I know you love her. I know you feel like this is the one. Make her sign an NDA. You need somebody in your
Smart
corner.
woman, nowadays, you got to protect yourself.
Yeah, you need someone in your corner that got some common sense and ain't going to be emotional about this thing. I wouldn't tweet nothing. We won. That's it. She does, but her mother helped her preserve that money. That's all I could say. Ain't nobody perfect, but she does. But that's a whole nother story in and of itself. And I won't even go down that road. I'm going to move. Yes.
You know, I quick thing. You know, you've given me some invaluable advice, and Diva is telling the truth that she does give us good advice and nothing that she would not do herself, especially when it comes to navigating corporate spaces. And I appreciate that. And I believe what you're saying is accurate as far as presentation matters, wording matters. I agree with you in relation to she needs a publicist. I think where I'm coming from is that it's the onus of the people who support and watch the game, that when they try to rewrite history and feed us things that are inaccurate. For instance, the Don just told us that scoring metric that they are trying to honor Caitlyn with is not a metric that belongs to her. That's not a feat that she accomplished. That belongs to a Black woman. So it's fine to take pictures and whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. You don't have to be best friends, but we do need to make sure that people are not taking credit for other people's accomplishments, and that the right people who get it, no matter what color they are, that their names are being spoken at that, and they are getting the notoriety that comes with the accomplishment that they worked hard for. That's what I'm saying.
No, I hear you.
Her net is Lynette Woodard. That's her name.
Yeah. But can I say this? Do you think Caitlyn even knows that maybe there's somebody, they coming and telling her that you're the one? You think she knows about this, Lynette? I didn't know about her. Do you understand?
Yeah, she knows about her. She took a picture with her.
She did?
Yeah, she know about her. She know about her.
So you saying she knows her stats?
Yeah, she knows that Lynette. Caitlyn Clark knows. She knows that Lynette Woodard is the leading scorer in the NCAA.
Okay, well, I listen.
Yeah, the reason why the public is giving Caitlyn so much credit for it is because Lynette Woodard was in Division II, and Caitlyn is in Division I.
Oh, listen, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pit against these two girls, black, white, yellow, orange, or green. I'll just say this, and I'm a stand by this. I think that both of them are missing an opportunity too, because they can raise this game up together. And listen, let's be clear. Angel Reese, own brother. Forget about anybody else. This is our main problem right here. Her own brother, LeBron James, gave the accolades to Caitlin Clark. What do you want?
That was irresponsible. That was my point.
But hold on one second. Hold on one second. Do you see what I'm saying though? The
Yes.
own black brother who's in a high level position that could be bigging her up, that could be standing behind her, that could tell her how to navigate these waters, is saying, I put it behind, this Caitlin, she gonna help raise the game.
Yes. So, Diva, I'm gonna just say this. The WNBA, they don't need to have personal rivalries, not yet anyway, between two players. What the WNBA needs is a rivalry between teams, because that is going to build their status, not take away their status. What built the NBA was rivalries, okay? The Lakers, the Bulls, the Celtics, the Pistons, it was always some type of rivalry that was going on that built the game. And they do need that in the WNBA. They need fierce competition, but it should not yet be between two players. It needs to be between teams and that kind of thing to build up the NBA. And I look forward to seeing that in the future.
I do. I wish both of these girls well. I really do. And I pray that there's a come around and that it doesn't have to be this way. And like I said, once again, thank you, NE, for the 13.2. Because he said loud and proud, Caitlin's our girl. All right. I'm going to move forward into the next story. In this next story, I got to deal with this pastor, because the premises of a lot of these Diddy cases is everybody want to say, I'm going to say indirectly, they're saying they was young, dumb, and impressionable. It's funny how when it comes to certain things, they're like, well, they're 18, they 19, they grown enough, they can make their own decisions or whatever. And then when there's other situations, it's like, well, they was only 19, they was only 20. This, let me share this screen. This right here is the foolery. This man don't deserve to be in nobody's pulpit. I wouldn't go to this church if it was the last church standing. I
would mess with my wife, Jordan. Talking about what you gonna do if you see her. Well, you will see me on the news. Let me just tell you that right now. Talking about what you gonna do if you see her. You better walk by and say, praise the Lord. That's what you better do. Because that's my wife. And she grown. She didn't need nobody to sign no paperwork for her. Now, if this was out in the streets, y'all be saying she made a come up. But you a hypocrite. So don't you forget the Bible say marriage is honorable. And the Bible said when you find the wife, honey, you find favor with God, honey. I found some favor with God. And we sleeping good at night. Ain't nobody up all night worrying about all these crooks. But I felt I need to say that because somebody talking about what they're going to do if they see you. I'm telling you now, don't let the devil fool you. Because I ain't the one to play with. I get on the other side here. Wish you would. Yeah, you mean the pastor? Yeah, me. You start threatening bodily harm, that's a problem. And please don't come over here because everybody in here is packing over here. Please don't come over here showing out. I'm asking you nicely as I know how. Over the last. And I wish some of y'all would mess with my wife.
$18.63. Leo, you up?
We throwing stones at this man. Okay, well, at least me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she's too young. Of course she's impressionable. When I seen that picture, she looked like a baby, like a little girl. I am just astonished that people don't hold their spiritual leaders and their religious leaders accountable for their behavior. Yes, the scriptures do say, if you find a wife, you find a good thing. But she's 18 years old. You 63. She's not but a baby. And I do believe she is impressionable. If she was raised in the church, if she feels like she has came on a come up, she might, and I promise you this, the people in her family say, yep, go ahead on and marry the bishop. Oh, he a bishop. I'm quite sure they supported her decision on her marrying Grandpapa. I'm quite sure they supported that. And and if the parishioners stay in, because this is the thing, right? Another ego trip.
Mm-hmm.
He is on the pulpit speaking of his wife. I didn't come there for that. I come for spiritual food. I come for spiritual enlightenment. I come for you, the word helping me to endure another week within this world. What you got going on and who you marry and who gonna talk to your wife and you better walk on by and we packing and all this other kind of carrying on. That is not what your parishioners come for. And if the parishioners accept that, then shame on them. They need to be throwing stones. They need to be getting rid of him. They need to be casting him out. He has to go. This is unacceptable to me that you are in the gutter to the point of, because it's also coercion, it's manipulation, it's a lot of things that this particular relationship speaks to me. If you 63 and you trying to marry a 18-year-old and you'd have been married 3 times, which says to me you want something you can mold, coerce, dominate over, and have demands over. She has not developed to be her own person yet. And you're trying to get you someone who does not have their own voice yet, who have not decided who they are, have not actually made real choices. And look it, pay bills. Been a whole grown person in this world. You wanted a child. And that's what you did. You wanted somebody to manipulate. And I cannot go for it at all. He need to be cast out, thrown out. He need to be out, 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 out.
Ooh, in my opinion, you're right.
This is what they speak of when they say the wicked ways.
Mm.
You gotta be careful who you. Let me tell you something. Be careful who you let lead you. Okay, because they can lead you to a place that you don't want to go. I think this is disgusting. It's purely evil, and this man is not of God.
Mm.
He is not of God. And let me tell you something. I'm telling you, I've learned this the hard way. Many are called, but only a few are chosen.
Come on now.
And I'm telling you, if that's not the truest thing I've ever heard of, these people hide behind the cloth and tell you, oh, they of God, and oh, they gonna save your soul. They gonna lead you to a place you don't want to go. I'm telling you, be careful who you praying with.
Mm. Mm. Thank you, in my opinion. E, you're up.
The biggest predators wear clerical collars, and that's just a fact. The fools in the back that were clapping their hands for this sermon, who have allowed this man to have a church to be in business for all this time is clear. This is why the stats say the average American adult reads on a 7th grade level, because this pastor is one of them. Did you listen to the way he spoke? Listen to the way that he talks, how he rationalizes his own bad decisions. And I can only infer that this is how he's interpreting the word, which is said to come from the holy book, and how he's giving it to the people and how they are receiving it, because I don't know how they sat there through that. I don't know how they sat there through that. I'm not going to go back and forth with you about something which I know is incorrect. When I know that you're standing up there talking about you got a pow on the other side of this wall. I'm going to get to that in a moment. It's blasphemy. And similar to what Leo and, in my opinion, said, we must be careful of who we lend our ear to. And we cannot depend on some quote unquote jive turkey to read the text and tell us what it says. You better know the word yourself. Come up from that 7th grade and learn the word yourself. Pray for discernment. Everybody doesn't have it. We have to pray for it. And sharpen your comprehension skills. The Bible tells you, beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. Because he's talking about, if we were anywhere else, you would have said my wife made a come up. A come up on what? A come up. Are you about to fall over right now? Is there a life insurance policy that we should know about? When you had that picture up there, I was disgusted with the visual. This old grandpapa and this 18-year-old girl. How long were they dating? 18 years old? 18. And then he has the nerve to put it under the umbrella that he who finds a wife findeth a good thing, and I have favor with God, and we're sleeping good at night. See, that makes me itch. We're sleeping good at night. That's disgusting. And then he even slapped the word honor on top of it. This is honorable because we're married. And I wanted to circle back to that whole pow thing on the other side of this wall, because people get it twisted. And this came up when we talked about Keon Henderson, that, pastors are still men. I feel like I know that pastors are still men, but do we recognize what kind of men that we have in the world? Because I tell y'all all the time, 13.2. 13.2. That's the type of man that we have in this world, especially in our community. And we're looking at it stand before us, who has been elevated to a position of influence, where he has people who come to him for marriage counseling, for guidance on their personal affairs. He is supposed to be the standard of the moral compass. And when you are in this type of position, you have to live it, you have to breathe it, you got to talk like it, you got to walk like it. Every time I look at you, or I should be able to be looking at something exemplary, because you are supposed to be a leader in our community. But to sit here and say, I ain't the one to play with, and on the other side of these walls, is something serious. And I heard too many eyes in that, because the main thing that you should be preaching about and talking about when people come into that building, which is supposed to be of holy ground, is what God will do. God is not the one to play with. Do you get what I'm saying? God,
Amen.
God is the first defense. And so I can tell right now that marriage is all out of sync and all out of order. How can it be? How can it be of good standing when the hierarchy is incorrect? The first in your marriage is God, correct? I ain't the one to play with. You taking matters into your own hands, just like Keon Henderson. This man thinks he is more powerful than God. He's not resting on God to fight his battles. He's not resting on God to guide him and see him through. He's taking matters into his own hands. He should have no fear of what someone will do when they see his wife. Why would you have fear when you are of the word, you are of the cloth, and you know God for yourself? If you know God for yourself, why are you walking in fear? What is there to fear?
I appreciate you, E. Emmanuel, you're up.
Man, I don't know what's going on with these pastors, but they make all 5 seasons of Greenleaf look like child's play. I don't like what these churches do, and it makes me uncomfortable that leaders of Christianity are people like this, or Jamal Bryant, or Whitehead, or Mary Cosby. I think that if Jesus were here today and saw this disgrace, he would flip all the tables all over again. It's blasphemy, it's mockery of the Lord. People are becoming pastors way too easily. This man is disgusting. Yeah, she is a woman and she's legal, but she could be his grandchild. That's horrible. And I think it might have been E just before me. I think she put it beautifully. People need to start picking up the good word and read it and understand it by themselves. Because it does nothing for you to go to service every Sunday at 11 a.m. and just sit there and follow these types of people who are making others blind. No, 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 no. This ain't it.
I appreciate you, Emmanuel. Tay, you're up.
She's just a child. And you see that first picture, she was sitting on his lap. First, this could be his grand niece right there. But it's disgusting. He gonna suck her youth for how long they're gonna be married for this right here. And this give me Mr. and Silly from The Color Purple. This way give me right here. I will not be in that church right there. The question is, where's this church at anyway? And why people clapping for this right here? What happened to the good church back away those days against this right here? What happened to that right there? And now y'all clapping for this man right here? No, thank you. I can't, Diva. I just can't.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Wait. I think Tay Tay asked the right question. Diva, where is this church?
I have no idea. But you know what? He's
No,
representing.
where is her parents? That's what I want to know. Where is her dang
It's
parents?
in Iowa. Her parents affirmed and confirmed the marriage.
Oh,
good.
Oh, Diva, where's her dad at too?
Okay, hold on, guys, because we can't have everybody at the same time. That's concerning. But you know what though? As quiet as it's kept, many of these stories where the individuals are young and they enter these relationships, the parents have approved. But I'll carry on. Tony, you're up. Tony, are you there? Okay, I don't know what happened. I'm gonna have to move on to Katrina.
Tony missed the stop, Diva.
Missed the stop. Yes, that's cute. Katrina, you up?
The only thing I'm saying is, what's the conversation like? How did you do in gym class, and how did you do in your uh, senior citizen aerobic class? The conversation can't be there. You on two different levels, and then you. How long have you been watching this girl to marry her at 18? You had to be eyeing her before then. You're disgusting. And why do the people want to beat up the girl? Why y'all not after him? They didn't want. He's saying people trying to beat up on his wife. They need to be trying to beat up on you. And that person that was playing that little organ when he was sitting up there talking, he need to be pushed out the church too. Because why are you condoning what this man is saying? Y'all sitting there condoning what this man is saying when this man clearly is a child molester. Even though the girl 18, we
Watch
really
your
don't.
words,
Really, I mean,
Katrina.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Katrina.
Sorry about that. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, chat. Forgive me. Well, he's a CM because there's no possible way that. And then the parents, what they waiting for him to kick over so they can get the life insurance. How did you die? He died on top of me. I don't get it. This is totally ridiculous and sick. And then you supposed to be a pastor. I told you one time before, Diva, the biggest trick the devil played on people is making people think he didn't exist. And these men that doing all this type of stuff is playing. I mean, they're devils. They're devil. I mean, devil advocates. They're doing the same thing. It's just ridiculous, and I can't see. Oh, just worse. It's just ridiculous and nasty. It's ridiculous and nasty. And like Leo said, yeah, them other women didn't let him rule over them, so he wants somebody that he can groom and tell her when to come in, when to answer her phone, when to do this. He wants somebody he can groom from an early age so she can be compliant to him. And that's totally sad. Her parents are totally sad because that's just ridiculous for him to allow her. Well, I know you can't stop nobody who you love, but what is the common entrance? I don't get it. They're too far apart. I don't get it. Like I said, the conversation is not there. They're on two different levels. There's no way. But
The
I digress.
conversation might be there because he might just be on her level.
Well, yeah, he might be because I don't see how in the world he a preacher, and I don't see how in the way I don't see how in the world people are following this man. I don't see this. I just don't get it. These people are crazy. Y'all paying tithes. Okay, so she's a come up. So she had a come up. So do he have money or something? Is the reason why that's a come up? Was she poor? Was she living in squander? The reason why she married you is a come up? Make it make sense. It's ridiculous. It's nasty. And the parents should have they should be locked up themselves. That's all I got, Diva. I'm done.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Julius, did you go?
No,
Go ahead. You're up.
this is a falsified man of a cloak. And what's been going on nowadays, I'm pretty sure he does the dividing preaching. Just like many others today, and that was not God's message. That wasn't Jesus' message. And he wants to talk about, oh, we're going to have a different kind of conversation when it comes to the S of the pow pow. Yeah, he a fool. And I'm not going to come down on his wife, but I am going to come down on her parents. How completely and utterly naive to think that she is to think that they think she was going to be protected by this man. He is gross. And I do believe, like some other commenters have said, he was eyeing her before she turned the legal age of 18. And that's where I will leave that.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Felicia, you're up.
Okay, so it's interesting. I'm listening. When someone is in a role of leadership or authority and they have a title, that doesn't mean that they're actually being defined as that title. So he is a leader and he has a group of people who follow him. We heard them clapping and supporting. And that means to me that they agree with his morals, his values, and his interpretation of scripture. And so when you do, you think what you're hearing is okay, or what he's done is okay. So he is being sued by a group of bishops for having desecrated and abused. They're calling this clergy abuse of this young woman. And I think that's what all the threats from the pulpit was about. And this young woman, all she knows out there in Iowa is this church, and she went to school, to the school associated with this church. So this is what she knows. She doesn't probably know too much else. Yes, I understand. There's the internet, but we know that people can be isolated even in a world that has such quick and easily attainable information. So it's a title. He's a pedo. He's in the pulpit. A lot of them are in there. If you do not have the ability to discern, to decipher that you're looking at a fraud, you are looking at someone who is blasphemous. You're listening to someone who is leading you in ways that are not righteous. These things will happen to you and your children. I can only imagine that he has like a $500 basket and $1,000 basket, and he tell the people, you need to bring me your money. You need to turn your home over to me. You need. I can't imagine there's any limits on him. And if you don't fall in line, I have that weapon, and I ain't got a problem using it because I'm the bishop. So it's unfortunate. I don't think this young woman is the only person who's being manipulated or has been manipulated. I think he's really running a cult. That's what I think. And that's what I
I'm hearing you. I appreciate that. Thanks, Felicia. Tony, you're up. Tony, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was muted. I apologize.
Okay, no problem.
Yes. Okay. The Bible says, beware of false prophets. So false teachers, false ministers, false bishops. So also somebody in your super chat said that there was a relationship that began at age 16. If that is true, well, unfortunately, because she is married now, she cannot testify or be forced to testify against her husband. But I suspect there was some type of abuse, if you know what I'm saying. All right. And this man, I believe what the panel has said is a pedophile. And that would make him a criminal. And I do believe that this young lady, unfortunately, has poor parents who have not protected their child. I'll leave it at that.
I appreciate you. This is sickening. And unfortunately, it happens on all levels. But this man has got the nerve to stand up in his pulpit and be all indignant about it, ego tripping, like, yo, I dare y'all to say something. The man who should be speaking against violence, letting the people know, I'm packed and ready. So y'all get out of line if you want to, and don't even come and talk to my wife. He's a nerdy, nasty, dirty, you know what. Gonna roll right into this last story. And unfortunately, y'all, I'm sorry. It's about Diddy. Now, the hip-hop cop from New York who has followed Diddy for a long time has spoken. Let me just make sure I queued it up right. Let's see if we can hear this.
Indecisive about the vibe of your wedding? Zazzle is the one-stop shop for every wedding theme imaginable. No matter what your theme or...
That's what the bishop got, was that commercial.
Exclusive. The Sun can reveal that a former New York detective claims the case against superstar rapper P. Diddy could be as bad as Epstein.
This definitely borders on the Jeffrey Epstein case because it has all the components. You have the sex trafficking, you have guns, you have drugs, and you have high-profile celebrities and maybe even politicians or people of influence that might be on these tapes. It has all the makings of a similarity to what Diddy's case is. I think they're looking at this case more like a RICO because it has all the components of that, which is a racketeering, influence, corrupt organization. So you have a leader of a particular group, which would be Diddy, and then you have people that are working under him. So these are all the components of a federal case because it crossed state lines.
In our explosive interview, Derek Parker, aka the hip hop cop, lifts the lid on the slew of allegations against the multimillionaire rapper, producer, and actor. This comes as Diddy's music mogul empire begins to crumble around him after multiple women came forward to accuse him of serious assault.
There's a lot of people that were at his parties and went to his parties, very big celebrities. And remember, he's a music mogul. He was up there with most of your famous people in this industry, artists that are prominent. So this is definitely, it could also unleash a number of names of people that probably didn't want or had no idea that these tapes or something would get out. And see, we don't really know yet because the government is still keeping things under wrap. I would think too that they're either going to secure an indictment or maybe an arrest sooner or later.
So P. Diddy is a global megastar with a net worth of 800 million and a career spanning 3 decades. He started out as an intern at Uptown Records and went on to develop artists such as Mary J. Blige and the notorious B.I.G. But he's been absolutely no stranger to controversy, lawsuits, and charges, with a history of violence dating back to the 90s. In November, his ex Cassie Ventura filed the legal case in a US court accusing P. Diddy of rape and abuse over many years. But Cassie settled the case one day after the allegations became public. But their troubled relationship was thrown into the spotlight again earlier this month when horrifying footage showing Cassie being kicked and beaten in a hotel in 2016, which forced the rapper into a groveling apology.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you got to do that. I f***ed up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. Disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, go into rehab. I had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
This new development of a videotape where Diddy was beating Cassie in the hotel that was leaked from 2016, that just sped up the government's case, where now it accelerates it, where they are probably under the gun to do something soon. The tape could have got released years ago, but it wasn't. Supposedly, he paid $50,000 for the hotel to give him the tape and not to release it. Now, the statute of limitations ran out with 2016 because they can't charge him with the assault of Cassie. Whoever released the tape put it out there to do more damage control, and it's effectively working. His behavior was totally unacceptable, what he did, but like I said, I was telling someone before that, money changes people, power changes people, and sometimes people think they're on top of the world and they lose it. Everybody now is denouncing him. And, they're going against him. He's losing a lot of sponsors. People in the industry don't want to talk to him. This is going to really hurt his brand.
Coombs, also known as Puff Daddy, had 2 of his mansions in LA and Miami raided by Homeland Security in March after facing a string of sex trafficking allegations.
Apparently, they had some information, the Homeland Security, that there were probably guns and drugs in Diddy's house. This came from someone who gave them credible information, that they obtained a search warrant and went to the house. They were looking for videotapes. I think they might have recovered a firearm. I think they might have found some drugs. I'm not sure about the whole thing. They haven't released anything yet about what they discovered in the house. They have to soon, but I'm assuming that it'll be very soon when they release the information.
For a man who has undergone numerous reinventions in his life, as all of his various names suggest, this is a shocking new chapter in his checkered career.
That thing was very, very big when Diddy was involved with the shooting at Club New York with J-Lo and Shine, both his bodyguard. And I was really a one-man team at that time where I had to go out and to handle incidents that involve rappers in the music industry. I was called in the middle of the night to go to the precinct to handle it, to coordinate everything. And definitely for the police commissioner chief, because they wanted me there. Diddy goes into the club with J-Lo and Shine and Wolf's bodyguard. There was a gentleman by the name of Scar, who's a local, I guess, street guy that people know from Brooklyn. And he had some words with Shine and Diddy in the club. One thing led to another. There was a dispute, and shots were fired. And in the melee, some people got injured. There was a woman claiming that she got shot in the face by Puff. But there was, I call him Puff then, but it was Diddy. But people gave conflicting statements. Shine was the one that ran out with the gun. So he was apprehended immediately by the police as soon as he ran out. And J-Lo, Puffy, and the bodyguard was stopped 2 blocks away. There was a trial. The district attorney, he charged Diddy, Wolf, and he charged Shine. Shine was different. He got convicted. He got 10 years. Diddy and Wolf were acquitted. J-Lo was brought into the precinct. She was arrested, but she was let go. He's done something to people over the years that they may not be so receptive to forgive him. The government is what everybody's waiting on. Everybody's waiting on to see what they have and what they don't have. I can't see them raiding his house with a search warrant and not going forward with a case. They just don't raid your house and say, okay, forget about it. No harm, no foul. No, once they do a search warrant, then they're leading to other things. So I would say that everybody's probably waiting for an indictment or an arrest to come down if that's going to happen. Either Diddy's going to cooperate with them or he's not, or he's going to go on trial. It all depends what they have on him or what they're going to proceed with. So now, if that's the case and he decides to give up, or let's say those tapes that were in his house that were seized as part of the warrant produce some factual information that the government has, then they have a strong case and he may have to take a plea or may cooperate. So this is, again, on the borderline of the Epstein case. However, this is big because it's Diddy, it's hip hop, and everybody wants to know what's going to go on with this.
Ooh, everybody just make sure you're on mute as you're waiting for me. This is a lot. I want to say the number is up to 7 cases now. So watching them back, Sean Diddy Combs' case could rock celebrity world as high-profile stars face being dragged into the shocking drama, okay? So P. Diddy's ST case could be as significant as that, as the one that finally took down Jeffrey Epstein, a top cop believes. Veteran New York detective Derek Parker told The Sun the explosive accusations have reached the most serious level. And I think we all know that and realize that. I'm just wondering, did he realize that, right? In an exclusive chat with the NYPD cop, claimed Diddy's case had all the components of that of Epstein's. Diddy is 54. His real name is Sean Combs. Made a groveling public apology this week after horrifying video emerged showing him kicking and beating former girlfriend Cassie Ventura. But the clip is just one part of the tirade of several severe allegations to have hit the billionaire New Yorker with an already checkered past. On Monday, his former bodyguard, Roger Bonds, alleged that he's seen the rapper punch other women. This follows police raids on the 3-time Grammy Award winners, 2 U.S. mansions in March, and a lawsuit from record producer Little Rodney Jones in February, alleging the star had SA'd him. It's a heavy-handed approach, which I haven't seen the likes of before, the ex hip-hop detective state. Diddy denies all allegations against him, Parker, the former detective in the rap intelligence unit who investigated Combs in 1999 at the nightclub Pow Powin, has compared the allegations to the case against convicted P. Epstein. In our exclusive video, he stated it definitely borders on the Jeffrey Epstein case because it has all the components. You have the ST, you have the Pow Pows, you have the substances, and you have high-profile celebrity and maybe even politicians or people of influence. While the investigation remains in its early stages, he also stated that another possible similarity with Epstein's was the other big celebrity names could soon be dragged into the case. Somebody of Diddy's profile would inevitably cross paths with some huge names. It could unleash a number of names of people that probably didn't want or had no idea. Mr. Parker also offered a fascinating insight why the raids at the music mogul mansions might have been so intense. In case you didn't hear Roger Bonds talk his nonsense, here he is.
How many times did you personally witness him be violent towards women?
Around 4 or 5 times.
Was that all with Cassie, or was it Cassie and other women?
I seen him with Cassie, and I seen him with Kim Porter, his kid's mother.
There have also been allegations involving him and other men in terms of abuse.
It's been times that I would stand by the elevator, or I would go downstairs and say, why is this guy rushing me out? And I would see different men. I've never seen what they did, but I've actually stood there while they knocked on the hotel room door. When you go through life just paying your way out, I really feel like he might be sorry now. He's sorry that he got caught. But if that was a one-time incident, then I would say accept his apology.
He said the reason it was Homeland Security who carried out the raids was that the allegations against Diddy included ST across the U.S., across state lines, and overseas. This elevates the crime to the most serious level. There was also a fear that Pow Pows were in the properties. We're not just talking a Glock or two. I mean serious Pow Pows, assault R's, and so on. Also substances. Law enforcement had to be prepared for anything to happen, so they went in fast and hard to be as efficient and safe as possible. It's a heavy-handed approach, which I haven't seen the likes of before. P. Diddy, though, was not arrested or charged with any offense, and once his legal team criticized the use of the military-level force. So far, the Department of Homeland Security has not commented on the materials seized from his homes or the exact nature of their investigation. There's no escaping the evidence of the hotel footage, which was broadcast by CNN channel last Friday. The video showed Combs dressed in a bathrobe, running down a hotel corridor in 2016, and then yanking Cassie to the floor. While she is laying motionless, he aims to kick her at her head and backside before pulling her away. 3 days later, the rapper told his social media followers, I was effed up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. It was an about turn for Combs, who had previously denied assaulting Cassie. He also claimed to have attended rehab as a result of his problems, but didn't say when. The swirling storm is already affecting the media moguls' businesses. Where am I? Businesses with the high-tech exercise firm Peloton pausing the use of his music this week. Following the police raids, Diddy sold his shares to Revolt TV, of which he had been the chairman. And in December, James Corden's production company, Fullwell 73, had a planned Diddy reality show canceled by the streaming service Hulu. Private Detective Derek 63, who served for 20 years in New York's police department, thinks even more people will distance themselves from the rapper best known for his chart-topping albums No Way Out and Press Play. He predicted Diddy is hurting right now. His associates are dropping him left and right. No one wants to work with him. No one wants to be seen with him. And no one is playing his music ever again. Diddy has also denied multiple claims of assault and misconduct from other individuals. On Monday, Combs' former bodyguard Barnes talked to TV's Piers Morgan that he has seen the rapper strike his former girlfriend, Kim Porter. He alleged, "I saw him inside the car, grab her up. I saw him smack her." Actress Kim, who shared 3 children with Combs, died in 2018 from pneumonia at the age of 47. I mean, they go on to talk about all the people that are suing him. I mean, we know it is coming left and right. And the latest one was this May 23rd with this April Lamppost. And when I get that case, we're going to talk about it over here. Model Crystal claimed in a lawsuit Tuesday that when she had gone back to the rapper's home, similar stuff that he has done to other ladies, she's saying it happened to her. I'm not going to go over that all here because we're going to get into all of that when we get into those cases here on the show. This is the latest one. Her name is Crystal. She was a model. And no, this is the one that was in the fashion industry. I'm mixing them up now. And she said she also suffered at the hands of Diddy. It's a mess. We'll go around really quickly. Leo, what are your thoughts? The hip hop detective.
I'm exhausted, Diva, with the Diddy thing, and I'm gonna pass on this one, but I appreciate you.
I ain't mad at you. Exhausted. Okay, in my opinion.
So I love the scripture to death. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man sow, this he shall also reap.
Ooh.
Diddy is reaping everything he has sold out here in the public. He is reaping it. And it is not upon us to give it to him, because God is going to give it to him tenfold. Okay? If he think this is it, he got another thing coming. God still got something in store for him. Be careful what you're sowing out here, people.
Be careful what you sow. You're up.
You know, it's so funny that he mentioned Epstein, because remember, Diva, I brought it up a few shows back. Whatever happened to the information they were supposed to give us in January about Epstein? Those names that we were supposed to get that never came out. It was supposed to be released the week of after New Year's, I thought. And then they pushed it back to the end of the month. And then they said, "Oh, we're going to get it in February." It's about to be June. I still haven't seen those names from Epstein. Why not? Why don't we have that information? That's very bizarre to me. And then the fact that he's mentioning it now. And then he also said something that was pivotal to me. He said there are other people who could be named and their names could be involved. Well, whatever info that he had it's a 50-50 chance, unless it was at the house next door. Shout out to Christian Combs. That the government has whatever information that Diddy was holding on other people, now it's in the government's hands. This is why it's dangerous, because in the Bible, it does say you can't serve 2 masters. And so if Diddy has something over you, now Uncle Sam has something over you. So Beyonce and Sean Carter, watch out now. I do think that this can get tricky, but knowing how they like to move, the powers that be, who knows what's really going to happen? They're taking their time with these charges, rightfully so, I understand. However, there were certain promises that were made to the people in regards to Epstein that did not come true, because whoever Epstein was involved with, they hold some power too. And likewise with Diddy. It's outside of these entertainers, we know that there were some very powerful politicians there. And judging from the case that we saw with, because I'm going to switch it real fast, to Trump in New York, when they had to talk about who was on his call list. And he said, I forgot who his secretary was, but she said he was in his top 5 contacts, Serena Williams. He was making phone calls to her repeatedly that same year. And then I was thinking to myself, well, what the hell is Donald Trump and Serena Williams talking about? And so when I'm going to liken that to Diddy, we don't know who he had on speed dial. Just like we know the Kardashians have a lot of politicians in their pocket. We don't know. What we do know is that someone is furious, or a lot of people are furious. And so now they're allowing all of this stuff to come through at one time. And it's all civil, nothing criminal, right? Um, I'm interested to see what's going to happen, and I can't wait to do a deep dive of the lawsuit. But I do want to say they're hyping this up. They're keeping this going for a reason, and I call it psychological warfare. It's another agenda here, and I don't have the words to articulate it properly. And I also want to say before you go on to the next person, I'm in no way excusing Diddy or absolving him of any wrongdoing or anything he has done. I'm just saying that when we have these discussions, our mind should instantly go to, why now? Why is this happening? Because if you think that this is all about Cassie and those girls, you are sadly mistaken. Something else is going on.
I appreciate you. Thank you, E. Felicia, you're up. Felicia, are you there? Can everybody else hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Julius, you're up.
I'm a pass on this.
All right, no problem. Emmanuel, you're up.
You know, to all the people that have been very quick to point the finger at Diddy, be ready when your favorites are exposed as well.
Oh my goodness.
Beehive, don't be in denial. You know, have that same fire that you've had so far. But yeah, it's really interesting. I think it's gonna be a very interesting summer. I think there's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna be coming out. I think Diddy is done regardless whether he goes to jail or not. You know, they're gonna drain up his money, so he's done. And yeah, we'll see what else happens.
Yeah, I now that I do agree with. I think that no matter what happens or doesn't happen, he's done. He's done. It doesn't even matter. Either way this thing goes, he's done. No one is going to associate themselves remotely with him ever again. Tay, you're up. And I say this all the time. I feel horrible for the kids. Horrible. Tay.
I'll pass this one too, Diva.
Thank you. Tony, you're up.
Yes, Diva. This is. Yes. Hi.
Yeah.
There's more to come with Sean, and I just wanted to point out something about the report, though.
Mm-hmm.
It said that he's worth $800 million. That's usually incorrect. It's about his assets are worth $800 million. He probably has about 10% of that in the bank. That's why he took out 8 mortgages.
Yeah. Fact.
Okay. So I just wanted to correct that. But I think there's more to come. And unfortunately, when we as people do not come forward to report crimes committed against us.
Come on, you better talk now. Talk.
All right. Then these people can continue, you know?
Yes.
So we should all, take this as a teachable lesson. When something happens, speak up, go get help, get out of the relationship. All right. I understand that people are, they have dreams and they want to, be in entertainment and so forth. And unfortunately, Diva, you've been reporting for a long time now what people had to do to satisfy this man.
Right.
Outside the scope of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get involved with toxic people like this, we just need to break away. And if we have to set our dreams aside and cancel for a bit, and move on to someone else or somewhere else where it's safer, that's what we need to do. All right. I hate to say this, but sometimes when Cassie got her lawsuit settled like the next day, I predicted, and I even wrote to you on your channel, more people were going to come forward.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're up to 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I predicted a man was going to come forward. I thought it was going to be a sex worker.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think it was going to be a producer.
Right.
And this person stayed as long as he did, gathered the evidence, and I'm sure he's hoping for that big payday that Cassie got.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he's not a victim, but some of these people you have to sort of look at side-eyed a little bit.
Well, come on, Tony. You trying to talk tonight. Come on now, talk. Uh-huh.
Now, I've been listening to you, Diva, weeks prior. So, you know, but, you know, not everybody is a victim per se, but I wouldn't wish none of this stuff on them regardless. I'll just leave it at that. But going
well,
I do believe that Sean is going to go down. It's only just the feds are building their case. They have to make it airtight. They have to connect the dots. That drug mule, remember him who got arrested? And he did not get a arrest. He got no jail time.
Mm-hmm.
He's flipped already. He's
You
gonna
saying
connect the dots with regard
you
to
take Brandon Paul?
yes,
Brendan Paul.
Yeah. So it's only a matter of time, and so, but more is to come, and Sean is going to basically help you pay your bills, Diva. Okay.
That's funny. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Major changes. They're saying that out of the Cassie lawsuit, her lawsuit was, whether you want to call it redacted, reduced. Her lawsuit was 37 pages, but they said it was more pages. And allegedly, Jay-Z and Beyonce name was in there, citing a time where, you know, they witnessed him allegedly putting hands on her. There's a lot of names floating around. And I know, listen, we love who we love, right? Or we like who we like when we have these celebrities. But, you know, there's rumors about there that Jay-Z is not squeaky clean. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah, here we go again. I wouldn't idolize any of these people.
Wait, hold on a second. Like, you know, so major changes, I understand what you're saying, but when it comes to everybody, when it comes to me, when it comes to people in the chat, we don't know what we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. Who knew that Diddy was this sinister? Katrina,
That part.
Yeah, and like I was saying, a lot of people was at those FO parties. O&E, also Santo, what's his name, Sanchez, whatever the man name down in Florida. He said that they're gonna read the list of Epstein people in July. So we'll see if that's gonna happen. I was gonna interrupt you and tell you, but I was just gonna wait, girl. But we're gonna see if that's gonna happen because you know they lie a lot. But the thing of it is with Diddy. I had told Felicia earlier today, I said I thought Diddy was a smart man. Obviously, he's not smart because the smartest thing for him to do is get on an IV sedation to get rid of those opiates out of his body, get in his yacht, and go out in international waters where he can't be can't come back because there's no way you finna get out of all this stuff. As long as you haven't been convicted or anything, you can go. You standing around. You still staying here. You is a fool. These folks is coming for you, idiot. And you still here. It's ridiculous. I would have did a Russell Simmons. I would have went to a place where I know they can't extradite me because you finna lose. They're coming after you. And like I said before, Diva, when he went after those people with that alcohol, you cannot mess with these people. These people will drain you before they let you drain them. And once he started that stuff, that's when the thing with Cassie came out. Then another thing came out. Then another thing came out. Now the tape and stuff is out. So they're making sure that you won't make no other kind of money when you was trying to take their money. And you and fell for it. Yeah, you was high. But that's like my granddaddy always say, people that always be high, sometimes they're gonna fall down again, and you forget about the people that was on the level that you was on when you went up that high. And now you finna fall, and everybody finna look at you and see that you was a fool from the get-go. And I can't believe all these people saw this stuff, didn't do anything, and then you coming out saying, oh, now you want to write a book. I'm not reading your book. Because you could have came out and said this before. If y'all would have came out and said all this stuff before, maybe he wouldn't have the power that he have right now, because y'all allowed this to happen. So I'm not buying your book. You getting on my nerves. If you seen all this, then you need to be accomplices too. Just like the ones with R. Kelly. All of them need to be held accountable too, because y'all seen the things that was happening with R. Kelly. Who flew Aaliyah out? Who changed the birth certificate? All y'all need to be in jail. His wife too. You peeping out the door asking, can you use the bathroom? What kind of mess is that? All y'all need to be in jail. And the ones that hang around with Diddy, the bodyguards, the security, the housekeepers, all y'all need to be locked up, because y'all allowed these people to go through what they went to. What about the people that drunk that little tainted tail wine or whatever he had, or his weed that was laced with others? I mean, his W that was laced with other stuff, and y'all knew this stuff was happening. Who to say none of these people OD? Who to say one? Because sometimes it only take one time to taste D, and you hooked. So who to say all this didn't happen? And y'all allowed this stuff to happen. So he need to be held accountable, and so do the people around him need to be held accountable, because they allowed this stuff to happen, and of course they saw it, and it's ridiculous. And don't tell how many people out there that's gone because of the things that these men or women allowed to happen to these girls and women. And it's totally ridiculous. And like you said, Diva, yeah, they was victims at first, but then you out there getting more victims. You wearing a hat because you wear a hat, you know it's a Diddy party, so you bringing these people back to the house. So you as far as being victims, yeah, you was a victim too, but you going out getting other victims. So we can't look at you as being a casualty of war when you was out there causing chaos yourself. That's all I got, Diva. These folks give me a headache. I'm good.
Diva,
Yes.
before you go into the feel good,
Uh,
I saw the comments from the Beehive, bzz, and I want to say this. We're not just making speculations from thin air about Beyonce going to these parties. If you remember correctly, um, Diddy's trusted advisor, the one who he allegedly, according to what's the man name who got the suit, Rodney, the one who Diddy was showing tapes of, whether it's true or not true. Uh, Stevie J came out and showed the video with all of the people who had been at the Diddy's parties and said they all quiet now, but he had the best parties around. And so all of those people, their names have come up frequently, and where there's smoke, there's fire. We don't know what they saw or what they didn't see or what they participated in and what they didn't participate in. But what we do know is they were there. They were there. And this was inside industry information. And maybe we don't know what was going on at those parties until now. But the people who were there, who have that insider knowledge, they knew. They knew what was going on. So I'm not absolving anybody. I'm not saying that anybody is innocent. If you were there and you had some inside knowledge, you knew something, you didn't say something, you have some responsibility too. Sorry, Diva.
You're fine. Listen, when it come out, we'll come back and talk about it. Here's the thing, though, too. Even with, I think it's Joe Button is getting dragged in the streets now. Because if I say the wrong name, y'all lose it.
You good. You good. That's his name, Joe Budden.
Yeah,
You good.
he didn't want to say anything at first, but now we know why. He's been dragged for filth. A lot of these industry, I don't want to. Let me say this. There's a lot of secrets, and the secret's about to be busted up, right? I will say this. I think is the difference between Epstein in this case. I think just like if you want to go back to the Angel Reese and the Caitlin Clark, I think in the Diddy case they're gonna release the names they want to release.
Mm-hmm.
And the names they don't want to release will never get released.
Thank you.
And then when they do release the names, it's going to cause mass chaos. Massive chaos. And like I said, what's that chick? She's a little problematic. She did the White Lives Matter t-shirt with Kanye West.
Candace Owens.
Candace Owens.
Listen, Candace Owens is problematic, but just because somebody problematic doesn't mean that every word they say out of their mouth is wrong. She said she felt like they went into that raid to get the stuff they wanted to hide versus really get the stuff that they wanted to, get him against. And I'm 10 toes down with her on that. But we'll talk more tomorrow when I get the cases. If I get the cases, we shall see. So let's go. Let me go. We're going to be passing out, Felicia. They're going to be passing out. Get the oxygen, the EMTs, call the hospitals, tell them to get up. They're going to be passing out. Birds of a feather flock together. And there's but so many parties you're going to go to, and that XYZ goes down. You're going to do like Cat Williams said. You'd be like, no, I pass. I'm good. You're going to do like the ultimate troll 50 Cent does. Like, why you want to take me shopping? Get out of my face. You're not going to continue to hang around somebody if that's not what you want to do, but I'll move on. Let's go into the feel-good story because it's late. But this is a really, really nice one. I love this one.
Hey, y'all. This is the booths that we just added in, and people be able to sit and have a little meal and be ordered to eat and have it to go. And for here, this is my kitchen.
Well, I got to meet you a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
We just started talking, and you told me your story, at least a little bit of it.
Yes.
And boy, that was really, inspiring.
Thank you.
So let's wind back.
Yes.
To when you were a student at Willow Ridge High School.
Yes.
And you were 16 years old.
14. I was 14 when I got pregnant. I knew that my daughter needed to be born, and so, of course, people said, you should get an abortion. You should give your baby up. What are you gonna do? You can't do anything. You're 15 years old. You aren't gonna be anything. Your child's not gonna be anything. Like, what can you do? You don't know how to raise a kid. And I was just like, okay. It was kind of just like Wonder Woman. You know how she's like, bing, bing, bing. I was just like, I don't care. I'm having this child.
Growing up with my mom being, 16 and into adulthood, I think we both grew up together, and that creates a big bond. And it was a lot of fun. One of the kind of underlying characteristics that's really I've seen her exhibit is hard work, and really person-centered hard work. Everything she's ever done has always been for me, for Danielle, for another member of our family, and for her patrons who she's served and cared for as a bartender.
That's how much goes in there. They're triple soaked, and it takes over a week to make them because they start off like this little, regular Albanese gummy size, and then they just swell to this gigantic size. And then they kind of have the texture of boba. So I went over to Papacitos, and I was able to work a dinner shift, and I went in to work a lunch shift one day. And the first day that I worked a double shift, I made $100 on that double shift. I quit school. I never went back, and my mom had no idea. And I was like, okay, if I work every day, that's 100 times 7, 700 times 4. I was like 2,800. Then I was like, that's like $30,000 a year. I can do this. So I did that. I worked every single day, all the time. I put my daughter in private school. And my mom said this to me. She said, listen, you're either going to work or you're going to go to school. The only time I'm going to watch your child is when you're at work or at school. You're not going to begin to get anything for free. You're going to go work. My daughters gave me purpose, okay? And I don't know where I would be without them. My sister, my mother, I don't know what I would do or be. So my family portrait is over there. My father passed away on my sister's birthday when I was 8 months old. So I had an example of someone, and that's my mother. My mother continued to work at a job that she probably didn't want to support it. She was always a strong force. She was just always doing what she needed to do. She would mow the lawn. She would cook a 5-course meal. She would bake cakes and sell them. She would fix the lawnmower after she mowed the lawn and get us up and ready and take us to school, cook every single night, and pay all the bills. We were never without. We always had. And I owe that all to my mother. This is the smothered chicken.
Okay.
Okay, and that's
whose recipe is this?
Yeah, that's my mom's recipe.
Okay.
We would eat it every Sunday. And I'd be like, Mom, I don't want that. I want McDonald's. You got McDonald's money, she would say. Like, no, I don't. And now I crave it.
But you were saying everybody in your family cooks?
Every single person on both sides of my family can cook.
Anything that went through your brain when you thought you watched your girls cross the stage and get their diploma?
Yes.
When that didn't happen for you?
Yeah, I mean, it could have happened for me, right? If I chose that path. And I don't ever, I don't ever compare, right? I just look at them in their life, in their life's path. And I don't even think about myself when I see them walking across. I just think like they did the work. You know, they have, my oldest, she had to go to away for her undergrad. She went across the country to New York. I don't have to do that. And my youngest, when she walked across the stage, she showed up. She made those grades. She did those things. Sure, I'm there to help in any way that I can, but they did those things. DeLorean's at Massachusetts General, which is a teaching school for Harvard. So when she matched, she said, you know, oh my gosh, it's Harvard, it's Harvard. I said, hey, that says Massachusetts General. She said, Mom, it's the same thing. I said, oh my God, my daughter is gonna go to Harvard and I'm gonna be one of those mothers, you know?
When either of you graduated high school, was there anything particularly poignant about that, given your mom's situation?
When I graduated high school was when my mom really started focusing on her own business. It was when she had left her previous job. She was focusing on her own business and helping out there and building her dream. And so a lot of my senior year was also helping my mom and giving back to my mom with how she gave back to me, well, did for me when I was a child. So when I kind of left for the summer, it was more of like my mom was already having her dream propelled. She was already doing everything. And so for me, she really made sure that I was able to go to where I wanted to go for school and made sure that I had everything.
Because she was going away to college and then there's just me at the house, right? So I would say that I don't call myself an empty nester because I don't like anything empty, okay? I just say that it's just, I don't know, this is my baby now. Tipsy Treats is not my baby. In fact, my oldest said that. She said, how is it, Mom, that you've gotten rid of both of your kids? They're both out of the house and you got a whole new baby. I said, I guess I was born to be a mother. Thank you, God, for doing this because he did it. He's always taking care of us. That's a fact. So I'm just grateful to God that he gave me better kids than he gave my mama. I'm serious. My sister wouldn't agree, but I say I'm grateful to God. And I say this, that's one moment, like my kids, I mentioned before that people say, oh, you need to get an abortion. You need to do this, right? I saved my kids, and I tell them this. I saved my kids' life one time, right? But they saved my life many times, over and over again. And I'm grateful for them. They're like the best people that I know. And I say that with all sincerity, and I'm grateful for them.
Hi, Mom. I'll see you a little bit after Mother's Day, but I miss you.
DeLorean, would you have a Mother's Day message?
Oh my gosh. There is no message enough. I think I'd need to write it in the sky in a plane. But all I can say is thank you. That is it. Thank you. And every day I go to work trying to make sure that I do you proud. And so I hope I am. And I will see you. They're probably not in Mother's Day. They don't give us that much vacation, but I'll see you via Zoom or FaceTime. I love you so much. I love you too. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
I don't know. I thought that was the sweetest story ever. Yeah, I thought it was a really good story. Listen, guys, it's late. I appreciate y'all. Y'all hung in there with me. If you didn't hit the like button coming in, hit the like button on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody. I'll see y'all next time.
Do not cheat the default right now. Thank you.